Good morning. We're looking at the Rudney desktop right now. This is the bottom of the desktop. So the desk is upside down. It's on a couple rolly carts. And I want to show you a couple features of this. You can see the carbon fiber inlays we put in earlier. And the reason for these carbon fiber inlays was to stop any potential splitting across the grain of this piece. So this is a great example. You can see where the glue joint is. Again, this is the bottom. You got to keep that in mind. So you've got a glue joint that comes across here. We're preventing any splits or cracks over the longevity of this piece while we move it around and work on it here in our shop, while we get it crated up and send it out to you, and as you work it in California to make sure that we don't have any splits across the grain of the wood. What I want to talk to you today about is the flatness of the piece. And what I mean is we've got a Jono, we'll pass the camera to you. We're live. So I'm going to put a straight edge on this piece, and I want you to see diagonally across how flat the piece is. So it's basically flat, but there is some flexibility in this top. And so I'm going to gently push down right here. Very little, actually I'll pick up very little weight. And you can see on the other end of this straight edge how much that flexes with really very little effort. John, can you show how little I'm pushing on this right now? So very little lifting, and we're moving significantly on that end. So what we're trying to do is, and actually just to take it one step further, if I reposition these rolly carts right now, I'm going to change the aspect of how flat this piece is. So the piece is flexible. It's almost too flexible for us right now. We want to stiffen it up so that we have an indexing for what is flat. That's the goal of this at the moment. We're suggesting you go with the carbon fiber super plank is what we call these things now. I'm going to show it to you. We'll lay it on the tabletop. The super plank is super rigid. Here's what it looks like. It's made with hard maple, carbon fiber, and we would make it in the shape of the bottom of the desk. Inset whatever Arlene suggests we ought to inset it, whether we're going to inset it 2 inches here, whether we're going to inset it 4 inches, whatever works. We make it in the shape of the desktop. This is carbon fiber on the top. This is carbon fiber in between each layer of maple, hard maple, carbon fiber on the bottom. This is attached to the desktop so that the desk can expand and contract with seasonal temperature changes, as it will, but still be held flat at the same time. With something like a super plank attached to the bottom of it, it's going to stiffen it up, it's going to index it for flat from now on. If the super plank would stay with the desk after it gets attached to the desktop. So it would have to be engineered into your final desktop shape. If you don't want to do, super planks aren't cheap, so if you'd rather skip the super plank and go to something temporary, we will make a maple frame which will have the same effect. And then when the desk arrives for the final installation, you would remove the maple frame, place it on the desk, and then the desk would have to take the place of that structural strength. So this is our suggestion for the moment. We'd like you to consider it. Give us a call if you have any more questions, and thanks very much. Actually, before you sign off, just have a look at the sapelli on the oval table. This is now attached. Jonathan's just doing the finishing shaping of this right now. This is what it looks like today, and thank you very much for your time.